I wanted to mix happiness and sadness. And people told me that when they go out of the theater, they were very light. They feel very light. I was surprised because it's a very hard story. It's a big drama, but you feel light. And I think it's the friendship.
Yeah.
The strength of the friendship make you feel like light, even if everything that happened is so horrible.
Do you think, because there's many stories about love, there's many films about love, there's many songs about love even, do you think stories about friendship are underestimated sometimes?
Yes. And I remember when I was trying to finance the movie, some people told me that you cannot make a movie about friendship. It's not a theme. And I was wondering why, because if you can make a story about a man and a woman who's in love, or a woman and a woman, I don't know, but you can make a story about friendship, because friendship is always a story. It's always have a beginning, a middle, and a end. And like, you can follow the story of a friendship, how you met your friend, what happened in your friendship, and the conflict and the good times. So I think for me, every friendship is a story.
Definitely. So the Kuessipan was made after Naomi Fontaine's novel of the same name. Why did you decide to film this story?
The first idea was to make a movie with the people of this community and not about them. And I didn't know Naomi Fontaine at the first time I had the idea to make the movie. I just wanted to make a movie with people there. I want to take a place and real people that live in that place and create a story with them. But because I am white and I didn't have the legitimacy to do this movie alone, and I was not Inuit. It was a big obstacle to do a movie that works. I was searching an artist, a writer from that community. And I searched a lot. At the beginning, I didn't find Naomi. I find a lot of poets and people that wrote some legends about the past and the hunting of caribou and stuff like that. But I wanted something very contemporary. And in 2012, I went in a book fair, and I met Naomi with, I have this book. It was that book at the moment. And she was there selling that book. And this book don't have the same story of the movie. The Shanice and Miquan are even not in the book. It's just it's like poetry, but it's a little, like one page is a description of a camp in the wood, or the other page is a description of teenagers hanging out at the baseball field. It's just
observation. So it doesn't really have a plot.
It's a beautiful book. No, there's no story along the book. It's just pieces of ambience. But it's a masterpiece. This is really, really lucid, and at the same time, it's naive, and it was the first time for me that I have an inside look from a writer inside a reserve, an Indian reserve in Canada or Quebec. And so I met Naomi, and I asked her if she wants to write a movie with me. And at the beginning, she said, I don't do cinema. I don't know how to do it. And I said, it's what I'm doing in life. And you have this inside look. And she accepted. And we bought the right of the book, but we had to go somewhere else. And in the book, there's a little page about a girl with the round belly was talking about all the girls that have babies at 16 or 17. And we wanted to talk about friendship and two girls, but different vision of life. So that was the beginning of this idea. And then we wrote all the screenplay we went outside the book, but at the end, I think the book came again in the movie at the editing of in the step of editing. We wrote some quotes for Miquan that are in the book. So it's not like an adaptation, but it's inspiration. Yeah.
It's in Miquan's poems that there are words from the book, you mean?
Yeah. And Miquan is a little bit like Naomi, even if it's not the same girl and it's not the same story. Yeah. She's an alter ego of Miquan.
Okay.
And and the girl with the round belly, the girl she's talking in the book, it's Shanice.
Yeah. Okay, super interesting. Was it difficult to write it together, the film? Because she's had a word in it too, right? In the script, Naomi.
Yeah. But it's she was my muse and she was the guide. And she's a writer. She's a really famous writer and really respectful writer in Quebec. And I'm a filmmaker, and she respects my process, and so I lead the process of writing, but she was always there to help me to say we have to go in that direction, and we script together with long conversations about what we want with that movie, but what we don't want, and what we doesn't want was all the cliche we always see in movies. We saw a lot of movies about Indigenous in Canada that are always very miserable and with a vision from the outside. So we wanted to just show the life. That's it. And she was really good to guide me and to tell me if I'm going outside of the first idea of, and when it was a long process to write. It took me 5 years.
Okay.
So and we have
you don't have to do like this.
Step to finance it, and always when we have some difficult time, she was there to keep the light and say, hey, this is the direction. And yeah, so it was we were very complementary effects, so it was a good team.
Did you maybe you made a friend with, like, you and Naomi made friends with writing a piece about friends? Yeah,
but the first time we met, I asked her that I wanted to know the people there, and because I didn't know a lot of them. And what she did is she invited me in 2012, summer 2012, she invited me in her family and in her community that is very far from where I live. And I passed the summer there, and we were supposed to write together. But we didn't write. We just hang out on the beach and meet friends and family. And I was feeling a little bit ashamed because I was paid to write, but I think it was a good thing to do, because I was really naive and I didn't know a lot of people. So I have to meet those people. I have to live with them and to laugh with them and to cry with them, and I have to be with them to be inspired when I came back in my apartment here. So it was just a summer of friendship, and that's it's a friendship that with a lot of sometimes misunderstanding, because we are not from the same culture. We have to know each other. She have to understand me. I have to understand her. I have some stereotypes or cliche in my head. I have to wash it out and to do that kind of movie.
Was it difficult for the community to open up to you? Were they
but I thought it would be difficult, but it was not. They were really warm and welcomed me. I think because it took so long to finance and write, they know me since a long time. I was the white girl that come sometimes and want to write a movie about with them. And so they know me when we arrive with big camera and trucks and everything. So the process was so long and so slow and smooth that when we arrived, it was they were already friends. So it was really smooth, and they were very, very, very generous. And I think I cannot do that movie without them, because I cannot take other people. It was them or nobody. It was that community. So it's if they didn't help me, that movie would not exist. So but they were really happy. It's happened.
Have you shown the film in the community
that,
already?
Yeah. We were there for a lot of months, and it was impressive for them to see that big crew coming from Montreal with big trucks and big camera. It was for them, it was special, and they wanted to play in that movie. And when we did a lot of scenes with extras, it was always packed at the hockey arena, when we made a big party with elders. It was very popular. People wanted to play in that movie because they all know someone that have a role in the movie. So it's really a small and very neat community. So they were
so everyone had a friend or a cousin that was playing in the film, probably.
Yeah. And when we showed the movie there last September, and
how was it?
It was really, really, really warm welcome, and it was really funny because they always see someone they know, so they were, hey, it's my cousin, hey, it's my sister. And it was so fun to see the movie with them. The place was packed with 800 people.
Wow.
Half of them was white and half of them was Innu, and they were crying at the same moment, but they were laughing at different times, because sometimes the Innu catch the joke before the white people. So it was really funny to make a mix to see the movie together.
How was it to cast the main actors? How was it to cast Mikwan and Shanice?
Yeah, we made a really, really big casting. It took us
inside the community,
and but there's like 5 Innu communities in the North Shore of Quebec that are separated by maybe 200 kilometers. So we went in other community where they speak Innu as well, and they are but different Innus, but they're quite the same for me. And people, Naomi told me, no, you should take all people from my community. And I said, yeah, but if there's a good actress in the other one, she wanted to take all the people from their community. But at the end, she was right, because even if I went to other communities, finally I took all the people from there, from Washa. I think it's because they were the best, and they have some different accent from other communities. So I think it was fitting that those people was perfect. And I think we made the we put all the advertising for the casting on Facebook, and people have to subscribe on like a Google form, and we received 400 candidates. So it was a lot.
Wow.
And I met personally like 200 of them. And I made interviews with people, and it was really inspiring. And I met all the big casting, like the main role. They came at this casting, and it was at the first time was really difficult because people were shy and people didn't have experience of theater or improvisation or everything. All the main characters didn't have experience to play. So they were shy, and they were not sure if they want to participate. And but I made like long interviews with them, just know them, and I was trying to find actors that are similar of the character, because if you work with non-professional, you cannot compose something very different from you. So I remember the girl who was playing Shanice, when she entered, she really wanted the role. She was, hey, you want to take me? And the energy she had was perfect. I said, okay, she's so Shanice. But on the other side, Mikwan, her name is Sharon. She didn't want to play in the movie, and we were searching for that actress, and
but wasn't sure if she was
like her mother pushed her to subscribe. And I remember someone told me this girl will be perfect, and she didn't want to come, and they have to convince her. And then when she entered in the room, she was so shy. She didn't look at me. She was looking at the floor, and she was not like an actress. Like she was just a shy girl. And I thought to myself, it will not be her. It's obvious it's not her. And she just said, and we start to chat, and maybe we talked for 1 hour. Wow. And at the end of it, I was really impressed because she was Mikwan for me. I wrote that character for 5 years before, and it was so her. She was creative. She wanted to study outside of her community. She had a really intelligent way of thinking, and so I told her, if you want the role, it's yours. She was really shy, didn't know if she wants to do that, but I think it was a good choice at the end, but it was not obvious at the beginning.
Yeah, cool that in the end she did do it. And it must be funny for you that when she enters and she thinks like no, and then because of her thinking no, then you think yes, that's the one.
Yeah. It's her intelligence that convinced me. It was really, really, really. She is still very intelligent, and she was Mikwan. Like it was the same. She was the same. So I was not afraid that she was shy or she didn't have experience. I think when you work very hard and you understand what you're doing, everybody can play. I think she had a lot of talent, but she didn't know she had this talent. She already had artistic talent, like visual arts and stuff like that. But she had that hide inside her, and now she's studying theater in university.
In Quebec? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
Changed
the way,
And the way the girls lived, so not the characters of Shanice and Mikwan, but the real girls who played them, did their lives also have a saying in the script? Did the script change a little bit because of who they are?
Not that much, because the script was really, there's not a lot of difference between the script and the movie, except the way they're talking. Like the accent they put, or just sometimes they change some words, but they were already so similar of their characters and their life that it was like a perfect match. So they didn't have to change a lot to be like that characters. And even the movie now, it's over, and the girl who's playing Shanice, she have a baby now, so she's really, really, really similar to her character. And Mikwan, she's outside the reserve now, and she was staying in the reserve when I met her, but they follow the path of their character.
Yeah, they also follow the script in their real lives. At the beginning of the film, Mikwan is participating in a group discussion about the Inuit and what could help them. It's the discussion about the mining, I think. And all the youngsters are around the table all have different ideas and suggestions. What do you think that would be important or should be done for the community not to face so much racism and not to face so much problems like poverty and the drug and alcohol abuse that you show? Do you, after having worked on this film and so close to the community, do you think there are solutions to be found? And if yes, what would they be?
I think the solution is complex, but at the same time, it's simple. We just, us as the majority, we just have to stop to position us upper than them.
Yeah.
We have to just listen, and we just have to let them be, to let them live, to let them be and work on their territories. That's it. And stopping to just want to help them and sending money, all that poor them. They're not poor. They don't need our pity. They just need to be respected, and they need to be as they want to be. And they have to decide for them. They have to have political rights, and that's it. I think we just it's not to be like racist or to be in the contrary over I don't know how to say in English, but you know, when you so want to help and you think you are helpful for them and you're gonna save them. We're not gonna save them. We just have to cohabitate, because we live on the same land now, and we are descendant of a European or white people, but we will not go back in Europe. We stay on this land now, but they were there before us. We have to recognize that. We have to be respectful about that, and we have to cohabitate. And if we are rich, and it's because we exploited that land, and we have to share that land with them. Yeah.
Why did you want to make? Because before having found the Kuessipan, the book, you already wanted to make something about the Inuit community. Why were you drawn to the community so much?
Yeah, I have to correct something.
Okay.
They are not Inuit, they are Innu.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
But it's not your fault, because I see that everywhere it's written in the program of the festival and everything. And there's a lot of movies about Inuit in the past, but there were not a lot of movies about Innu. And people mix them. Even white Quebecer mix them, but it's a really big mistake, because they are two separate cultures, two separate nations, two separate territories, even two separate language and alphabets. The Inuit are very in the north of Quebec, and the Innu are in the east, very, very far. Yeah. So they are Innu.
Okay.
This is a lot of.
This already says a lot. But
I went in Europe. I went in Norwegia and Sweden in January in the festivals, and they were saying the same. They were saying Inuit. And I have to correct that, because
you're right.
They're not the same.
It's good that you do.
Because why? I don't know why Innu more than other nation, but I think it's random. It's because I went there in 2010. I was mandated by NFB, National Film Board of Canada, to make a documentary about a subject that was not linked with Indigenous. It was about the internet and the impact of social, like Facebook and Twitter and everything on identity. And I have to find 8 characters from Quebec, from the province of Quebec. And because I wanted to put diversity in those 8 characters, I told me, okay, I will find an Indigenous character, but there are 11 Indigenous nation in Quebec, so they are really diversified, and they are everywhere on the territory of the province. And so I found an Innu teenager from that community, Mayutanam and Washat. And but it was 8 hours by car from where I was living. I was living in Quebec City at that moment, so it was really far. I talked to that teenager on Facebook, and she invited me there. So we went there with the sound girl and me, And I arrived on that community, and I was really, really shocked because it was a positive and negative shock. It was really, it was negative because I was shocked why I don't know those people, why I don't know that they are speaking their language, why they are separate from us, why they live on this little land. And yeah, I was shocked of those.
That they were stuck away in a corner, you mean?
Yeah. I was shocked, and I was angry about my society. And I went to university, and I didn't know a lot who they are. And I was traveling in Africa, and I know a lot of people and nations, but I don't know the nations that live on my land. So I was really shocked about that. But it was a positive shock at the same time, because the place was so beautiful, near the sea. The people was so warm and so generous and so funny. And I had a lot of good time with them. So yeah, it was. I just wanted to make a movie there. I made a movie in 2008 that went in a lot of festivals. I think it went in Ghent in Belgium.
Okay,
yeah. The name is West of Pluto. It's I co-direct that, and it was a feature, and it was a 24-hour in the life of a bunch of teenagers in the suburb of Quebec City. Quebec City is where I was born,
but now you live in Montreal, right?
We took a place. Yeah, I moved in Montreal years ago, and we took a place, the suburb of Quebec City, and we took the real teenager from that suburb, and we made a movie with them. And the movie was great with them. And I saw there a pattern, a creative pattern. And I just finished that movie when I went to Maliotenam. And I told to myself, I can do that like in a factory. We go there and we take the factory is the place, and the worker are the characters, and we create a movie with them. Yeah. So, and I found that reserve, and I say, okay, I'm gonna take that place and the real people who are living there, and we're gonna create a movie together. So that's the story of this.
Yeah, how you got connected to the Inuits.
Yeah. So Inu is like it's random why I work with them, but now it's not random. Like I fell in love with that culture and those people, and this is really strong now. But at the beginning it was just curiosity.
Do you, after finishing the film, have you visited them again, because they live really far from your home? And maybe for the screening?
Yeah. I went there a lot before the shoot and during the shoot and after, of course, and have a really good friends there, and the actors, and I miss them a lot, and I call them sometime, and we are really close on Facebook as well, and I miss them, and I think it's my second home. And since the movie is finished, I don't have the occasion to go there a lot, but I plan to go there in my holiday, and if some of the actors are having a wedding or something, I will go there.
I'm sure
and we are really close now. We know each other, especially the parents of Miquan, like you know that those characters. I'm really close to them, and I'm always asking some how are you, what are you doing, and they are more my age, so I miss them a lot. And the grandmother, I call her sometime, because she's not on Facebook.
Oh, that's super cool. I have one more question for you. What is it that makes, or what do you think is it that makes coming of age stories so strong? Every time I see a coming of age story, as well as yours, it like gives a sensation of freedom and of like having a lot of opportunities. Why are coming of age stories so, why do you like a coming of age story? Why did you choose a coming of age story?
I think I feel young in my heart, and I'm not really that far from them. I understand more teenagers than adults, I think. And when I'm working with them, I don't feel a lot of difference, even if they probably think I'm an old lady.
You don't come across as an old lady, so that's good.
But I think it's because when you see a girl and a boy kissing, it's not extraordinary. But in a coming of age, when you see a boy and a girl kissing, it's always the first time they kiss. So it's so special that the first time you kiss, it's so special. It's not like the 100th time you kiss someone. And everything you do, it's so like the first time you do something, the first time you are mad with your parents, and the first time you have a party, or I don't know, but I think I think that's why it's special. And teenagers are so fragile, but at the same time they feel invincible. I don't know if it's
invincible.
Invincible.
It's the same.
I think they feel like they don't have, they can do everything like superhero.
There's no limit.
But at the same time, they're so vulnerable and they are so fragile. So it's the contrast. I like the contrast in that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for our conversation, Myriam. Is there something that you would like to add that I didn't ask, that you would still like to? Maybe about, do you have new work coming up, and is the coronavirus stopping you from it, or how is it going in Canada?
It's like 40 days now that we are in quarantine in the house. We are 3 here. So I was supposed to be in Belgium. I was supposed to go in Mexico. I was supposed to go in a lot of festivals. So at the beginning, I was a little bit shocked because it was like a big wheel that was turning, and it was amazing, and I was traveling everywhere. But it was intense. I had a lot of festivals to do, and maybe my body needed a little rest. So when it happened, I thought to myself, maybe just for me it's a good thing. And I'm really happy that festivals like yours continue to the mission and propose an online edition. That it's warmed my heart, because I was really a little bit sad that people will not discover Kuessipan. So I think more people will discover online than in a little theaters. So it's nice. And
I've heard the numbers are going well.
Right? So. Yeah.
Yeah, the screenings are going well. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Curious.
Yeah, me too.
You know, if people saw Kuessipan already, or it will be screened.
I'm sure.
Or
No, it's so the festival is from the 21st until the 4th or the 5th. And so that the Kuessipan was going to be.
They can watch the movie all along.
Exactly. They can buy it online, and then they can see it for 48 hours. And if not, there would be, per location, there would have been a couple of screenings, but now it's in competition as well, so it's highlighted. That's why we're having this conversation as well. So after you can see the Q&A.
I like what all you do on Facebook and Instagram. You're very active, and I think it's good to know the movies. And I saw all the memes and the postcard. It's beautiful. Cool. And I really like your proactivity. You have to say that to your boss.
Yeah, it's true. And it's definitely also Charlotte, who's doing the communication, who's doing it really well, because she had to change like 180 degrees from a real festival to online festival.
And it's a challenge to switch from a physical edition to an online edition. It's the complete other expertise, and I think you do it very, 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 very well.
It's good. When everyone will see the video, they will feel proud, and they should be, because it's a really cool team. They work really well. Sure. All right.
But
Myriam?
hoping, I think the movie is gonna be in theater in Belgium in the month of August 2020.
Okay.
So yeah, so I hope it will happen.
Yeah, I hope it will happen too.
I know. I'm not sure because with what's happening now, but it's supposed to be in theater in France and Belgium in August.
In August, okay. If it is, I will tell my friends who haven't seen it on the festival yet, I will tell them to go to the cinemas in August.
Thank you. Thank you. How you say thank you in Dutch?
Sorry?
How you say thank you in Dutch?
Dank u.
Dank u.
Yes, perfect. All right, Myriam, thank you so much for our conversation. Hope to welcome you in Belgium in the coming years. And until now, I say bye through the screen.
Bye.
Bye. Nice meeting you. Bye-bye. Thanks.